So you mentioned Elias Pettersson. The postgame show last night with Jeff Patterson on Rink Wide was all Elias Pettersson. And in my opinion, Quads, when I look at this, I don't know if people thought that there was some magical button that was going to be pressed for Elias Pettersson to jump into this player, this superstar player, as soon as game one hit, because he has a lot of family in town, because there's a lot of fans, because it's the first playoff game in Vancouver. He was bad before. He wasn't in form. He has 1 goal in his last 15 games. Before that, he has 2 goals against the Buffalo Sabres, and everyone said that Pettersson's back. Well, that's the Buffalo Sabres. This is the Nashville Predators, and this is the NHL playoffs. I like what Rick Tocchet said kind of a little bit. He was protecting him. He's young. This is his first taste of pressure. He's 25 years old.
Take the kid gloves off.
He's 25 years old. He just signed a contract over $90 million. Yes, hasn't kicked in yet, but he is going to get paid that much money. He had 7 attempts, missed, or 7 attempts blocked. I think it was 2 missed the net. One, the most glaring, was obviously the empty net. And I know he owned it, and I know he said that he needed to be better, but sometimes actions are going to speak a lot louder than words, and he's had a lot of words lately.
Let's hear from Rick Tocchet. Rick Tocchet spoke about Elias Pettersson, and this is what he had to say post-game.
A young kid, this is his first kind of taste of pressure playoff thing, and this is good for him. He's got to learn that he's got to dust himself off and be ready for game 3, and he's got to be very decisive with the puck. I want to see him shoot the puck, he's got to take it, I think he'll be fine. I mean, this is good for him. Good learning lesson.
So in fairness to Rick Tocchet, what I gather from his quote and, the full context, when he says, he's a young kid, I feel like he's more so referring to the fact that, he's a young star player in this league who has never played actual playoff games in his life. That's how I kind of look at that quote.
Neither's Quinn Hughes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Neither's Brock Besser.
Yeah.
If you're going by, those things, right? Oh no, did Brock play? No, Brock didn't play.
No, Brock.
Yeah, no, definitely not. And neither are a lot of other guys on this roster. Another player who's a complete ghost is 21. Yeah. What's Nils Hoglander doing? He's got a 24 goal scorer in the National Hockey League. You're having Louis Eriksson stats.
Yeah. He's not even winning puck battles right now.
Well, that I think is the most glaring thing, because for so much of this season, his teammates loved playing with the guy. Yep. Guys hated playing against him. He was that pit bull type of player that was all over guys. He would get in on those puck battles and do things. The playoffs are a different animal, and he has not been that old animal he was in the regular season. His stat lines are 0, 0, 0, 0. Go on and on and on.
Sam Mitchell.
Yeah, exactly. It really is. I mean, you mentioned Sam Lafferty was their big shot guy after the first period with 2. Sam Lafferty, Ian Cole, and Pia Suter had the shots for the Canucks after the first period. The Canucks had 2 power plays and some. I mean, if that's not a glaring, Grady, I really don't know where you go from this. I mean, we're leaning towards game 3 here, but there's so much to take away from game 2.
Well, just on Lafferty, he had that one net drive where he went wide and then tried to tuck it around Saros, and the puck just, he lost it. And that just kind of sums up where that offense is. And yes, Pettersson needs to be better, but playing him with guys like Hoglander and Lafferty right now, who just aren't giving, a lot to work with, it makes it difficult for him. And listen, no denying PD has to step it up. He had glorious chance after glorious chance, like that pass to Garland last night when he had, all the room to shoot, and he saucers it to Garland's shin pads. And then he had that other wide open net. And then he had that one that he missed the side of the net. Pius Suter had a couple chances, Brock Besser, the Dakota Joshua, on and on and on. And, you can say that, puck luck, this and that. But at the end of the day, you got to find a way to put the puck into the net.
Create your own puck luck.
Yeah.
As Irf said.
Yeah. Someone in our chat just said, you can't say 40 needs to be better because he makes 12 million, then say Hoglander needs to be better because he makes 1.1, but Hoglander's paid to be a third line. It doesn't matter. They both need to be better is what I'm saying.
Yeah, when we say they need to be better, we're not so that we can feel good about ourselves. It's they need to be better so that this team can win games. That's the context of everything we're saying here. When we say a player needs to play better, we're talking about the context of winning a game in the Stanley Cup playoffs. Let's be crystal clear there. Let's be crystal clear.
And I think if you look at it, if we're going by the context of what players are being paid, okay, we look at it. Elias Pettersson is going to make
$11 million.
No, he doesn't make it yet. However, if that's the case, why isn't he driving? Why is it is he the guy that needs better wingers? He should be driving his own line. He should be the driving force of that line and making everything happen. He's not.
Absolutely, and it's the conversation that we end up always having.
What was it? Nine shot attempts, not a single one on goal last night.
Yep.
Yeah.
Jeez.
I like this comment from Mr. Kobe Irf. You'll like it too. Quads and Irf together after a loss are perfect. Pure vibes and daggers. Harmon, bless his soul, isn't around to be a voice of reason.
No, but like there is ways to be a voice of reason. That's 1-1 in this series. They're not down.
No.
Right? And they dominated 5-on-5. They're other than Elias Pettersson, they're and a couple bounces here or there. The Canucks are still in this series. They didn't lose the series by losing game 2.
Sorry, continue. Yeah.
No, I'm fine.
Well, here's a loaded question for you. That's going to be a real thinker. Do the Canucks win this game with Thatcher Demko in net? Last night's game, do they win it with Thatcher Demko in net? I say, aside from the idea that I brought up earlier, that Nashville maybe had a little bit more belief in themselves and belief that they can win this damn thing. Aside from that, win this game if they score 1 goal and have 80 whatever shot attempts and 18 hit the net.
If the Nashville Predators were committed to blocking 100 shots last night, regardless of who was in net, they were going to block 100 shots last night.
Yeah.
That was their game plan going in. They didn't give a who was in net. They didn't care if it was 35 or Casey DeSmith. All they cared about is what they had to do to leave Vancouver, tying this series at 1 game apiece. This one's on the Canucks.
Yeah.
It really is. It's fascinating to see just the difference of the gameplay in 1 and 2. And that's not because who was starting in net.
Absolutely.
That's because it was the guys in front of them.
So that goes back to what I said yesterday. I was one of the few people saying I'm not panicking because Casey DeSmith is in net. That happening, yeah, it's not great. Casey Smith is not Thatcher Demko, but that's not the end of your series. That's not the end of the series. That's not why they lost last night. So I think it's interesting to bring that up. Okay, let's get to a quick break, and I think we still have to talk about Elias Pettersson a little bit. I think we still have some conversation.
Sure.
But we're going to take a quick break, and I'm going to tell you about a couple of our sponsors. The first one is the Daily Faceoff Playoff Parlay Challenge. Each game day, answer 4 questions. Pick the winning team. Guess if points will be over or under, predict the first goal, and choose the highest scoring period. Daily winners snag gift cards, while each round's champs pocket cash. Play now at games.dailyfaceoff.com and prove your puck prowess. It's fast, it's fun, and it's all about hockey. Let's go. I'm going to tell you about our friends over at 4 Winds Brewing, more specifically the 4 Winds Featherweight IPA. If you're looking for a nice hoppy beer but still want something light and flavorful, then look no further than the 4 Winds Featherweight IPA. At just 4.5%, this incredibly light IPA is packed full of tropical and citrusy goodness. Available now at liquor stores across BC or through the 4 Winds online shop for home delivery anywhere in BC at 4windsbrewing.ca. Okay, we can get to anyone else very shortly, but I still think there's something to be said with the whole Elias Pettersson conversation, because Tocchet spoke about the urgency of shooting the puck. Elias Pettersson looks like if you were like, okay, we're going to give you an option. You can skate around the ice 10 times. We're going to make you bag skate, or you're going to have to shoot 5 pucks. Petey would take the bag skate. That's what it feels like right now. It feels like he doesn't want to shoot the puck at all. He's double clutching. He's looking for passes when he has open nets. That's unlike him.
Yeah. Well, I think the biggest thing is when you look at it, look, let me go back to my point that I made earlier. If people thought there was some magic button that was going to be pushed, it just wasn't going to be there. He hasn't been in form for quite some time. Now, is he battling an injury? Maybe not. The book on Elias Pettersson is he doesn't like to be leaned on. Right. And the book on the Vancouver Canucks is if you play a big, physical, heavy game against this Vancouver Canucks team, your chance of winning is a little bit higher. And that especially goes for a guy like Elias Pettersson. I know he throws a reverse hit. I know it looks cool, and I know he gets involved physically. The Canucks don't need Elias Pettersson to get involved physically every single game. They don't need him making those hits and things along the boards. They need him to do is stand in that corner where he's done for so long and where he made his money and shoot the hockey puck. And it's unfortunate, and he's too good of a player to not be able to do that. And I think he's got to figure it out over the course of the next 2 days, maybe going on the road, maybe getting into a building where fans are going to talk all sorts of smack to you during warm-up before you get on the ice, where you're going to be hated, people aren't going to like you, might do a good thing. Because here, maybe the pressure is getting to him a little bit. Right? Maybe it is something like that. But I, for 1 second, don't think it's not because he doesn't care. I do know that he deeply does care about winning and things like that. But there's a lot of other things that have to go into consideration, right? It's the big physical, different type of game. It's the playoffs. He's never seen this before. But going back to what it is, you know, you're one of the team's best players. You're part of this core group. You just can't have efforts like you did the last few nights.
Yep. This team's already without Thatcher Demko, who's a very important player. They can't also be without Elias Pettersson at his best. Okay, you want to get to anyone else?
Yeah, but people are going wild. And okay, yeah, let's do it. Get to anyone else.
We'll get to anyone else because that's why I said
why I get
that.
it. Yeah,
So
it's wild.
you start looking. Get ready to read.
Don't
you
you
get ready
worry.
to read what you want because there's a lot in there. But it's time for anyone else. Presented by the Vancouver Canadians. The Seas are back at the net. Catch fireworks, giveaways, Friday nooners, and superstar appearances all spring and summer long. Get your tickets at CanadiansBaseball.com. The Seas are giving away a record 33 giveaways this season. This includes 6 koozies giveaways for the first 6 Saturdays of the season from all of their beer partners, and a giveaway every Sunday for Family Fun Sunday for kids 12 and under. The Seas open up a new homestand on Tuesday, April 23rd, which means they're also playing today. Don't miss the nooner at the Nat on Friday the 26th or Family Fun Sunday on the 28th. For tickets, call 604-872-5232 or go to CanadiansBaseball.com. All right, Irf, what you got for me?
Brendan Murray, people forget so quickly how good of a player Petey is.
Yep.
He's slumping hard and it's hard to watch him, but let him cook for a bit. Here's the thing. He's the chef and he's not cooking. He has no ingredients to cook.
Okay, so Brendan.
They're stale.
I like the comment, Brendan.
So do I. I love the comment. It's great. They're stale. Yeah, his ingredients are stale.
Let's say you go to a restaurant. Let's
This is going to go so completely off the rails. I already know, but there we go.
Let's use the analogy, okay? Let's say you go to a restaurant. Okay. And you order your food. And the chef says, "Yep, I'm a world-class chef." And he brings you out something bad. And you say, "You know what? Can you go back in the kitchen and cook this again? I want to let you cook."
Yeah.
And he says, "Yeah, you know what? You're right." And he comes back 20 minutes later. Now you've been there for an hour and he brings you something bad. And then he does that, I don't know, 4, 5 times. And then you say, "You know what? It's too late. I don't want the food anymore."
Okay.
There's my analogy. If you and I like where the comment is coming from, but this idea of relax, let Elias Pettersson cook.
No, it's not time to relax.
How much time does he have to cook?
That's the thing.
He's got 3 games left to cook, Murph. Like, they lose 3 more games, it's over. And then what's he cooking? Nothing.
He's got this whole team's going to be cooking up excuses for what happened.
Yeah.
I don't think I've said this before and I'll say it again. I don't really think it's his wingers. I think it's, if you're that good of a player, you need to generate things yourself. I don't think you can touch the Lindholm, Garland, Joshua line because that basically by production is your second line right now. I think that a lot of talk was made about Elias Lindholm. I'm going to give him his flowers here because when they made the trade, that was the Canucks' big,
Yes.
this is our move. And he didn't play well. He got hurt. His wrist was bothering him, probably still is bothering him a little bit. But after game 1, Rick Tocchet, this is why you acquire guys like Elias Lindholm. Great in the faceoff circle, good on the penalty kill. Hopefully he gets an opportunity on the power play at some point. Has a goal. Saros probably should have had it. But you know what? He shot the puck and it went in.
Yeah, which is
novel
better than
concept. It's a novel concept. He shot the puck on net and it went in. So I think when you look at it, you can compare those two players all you want. And, you know, a lot of people are saying Elias versus Elias. Elias Pettersson needs to find his game, and then he needs to find his game desperately here.
Desperately. Like
That's
blocking,
a good word. Like blocking pucks the Nashville Predators did desperately.
Yes.
He needs to find it, right? And look, we've said for a very, very long time when this core group was kind of assembled, this team is going to go as far as Elias Pettersson and Quinn Hughes are willing to take them. Quinn Hughes is going to take them to the promised land, but he needs Elias Pettersson to be there too. JT Miller, obviously, in that as well. And, you mentioned Thatcher Demko. He's not going to be with this team for a while. So it's those 3 guys and then the supporting cast of players around them. But those 3 guys aren't going every single night. You're going to be in trouble.
Yeah. This one from Kamesh. I like this. It is so hard to defend PD with the highlights from last night. Your dog, PLD. I know you're not on every show. I really don't like Pierre-Luc Dubois.
Yeah, no.
Oh, you do know that?
I know that.
Good. I have told a few people.
But he's right, because on that first goal, he doesn't get, now Quinn Hughes falls on the ground. That doesn't help, but he has to get to the boards and get that puck out. Then he gives the puck away.
That was his only point on the night, was the primary assist on the Nashville goal.
Yeah,
right. This comment,
he doesn't tie up Sissons when Sissons is crashing the net, and he has way too easy of a path to tap that puck home.
So it's not even, yeah, exactly, great. It's not even the lack of scoring, it's the lack of engagement right now, and the lack of just everything that we've known Elias Pettersson to be so good at. He's not doing it right now. And Kamesh, like I was saying, he pointed out that PLD has more points in the first round than Elias Pettersson. That's a tough one.
Yeah, you're not the only one that doesn't like Pierre-Luc Dubois. There's a couple of teams didn't like him either. So
yeah, teammates, coaches, everybody.
But
his
he has
mom.
He has more points in the first round.
Hey, at least PD was more noticeable last night. It was just for the wrong reasons, right? Like, he was engaged, but not in the right way you would have hoped.
Canucks Conversation is live Monday through Friday, every weekday at 2 p.m. over on the Canucks Army YouTube channel. Make sure you like, subscribe, and interact in the YouTube live chat every day with us, folks.